What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so what I'm gonna do in this episode is I'm going to give you guys an update on all three metal workers, right? And we've actually found a good solution for them. So this is we call it the Japan car, the left-hand drive. So 3 to 5 I Sport, the black one that came in. In my previous video, I took the rear fender off, showed you guys what's happening underneath that, right? So what I've decided is it's gonna take me some time basically to refabricate and re-get that fender right. From a time point, it's taken us ages to get these guys out of fabrication and out of panel beating. So what I've done is I've actually taken, there's a donor car that I have, and I bought this guy for a project that I wanted to try and build maybe in the next few years. So it was a 2-door plastic bumper shell, but I got basically robbed of this guy. So Shiraz Bauer helped me get the car from Cape Town and so on like that. And the person who sold the car to me forgot to tell me, or he didn't fail to mention to me. So I'm gonna mention his name here. It's Imran Ahmed on Facebook. I really don't care if he gets embarrassed or not, but they failed to tell me the car's got no floorboard and no chassis links, and no numbers. So yeah, exactly that, no numbers. Anyway, paid for the car, got the car here down to Joburg. It's a 2-door plastic bumper. 2-door plastic bumper with sunroof. So I believe that this here was an IS because it's got all the clips and all the right goodies. Can I show you the car? The car's parked here next door. So it's got all the right goodies for the IS, and you'll see that it's got, you can see it's got the clips. It's got the IS clips in it, and the IS in the holes in the right places, so it doesn't look like it was drilled in there. It looks like factory holes. So bottom line is, this is how I got the car here. No floorboards in there. All right, and they failed to mention this here to me. They told me the car's on a rolling chassis. No floorboards, no chassis legs whatsoever. So, guys, maybe this is a heads up for you guys as well. Imran Ahmed on Facebook, and he's probably watching this video as well. Be careful about the man, because he lied. He said they just took off the suspension, the car is rolling, because even the last photo that he sent to me was the car on the chassis on a rolling chassis, and then when the car on the rollback was basically flat on the floor. Never mind that. So anyway, we've got, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sacrifice this vehicle, right? And I'm going to use the rear fenders. Remember, it's plastic bumper. So the fenders on the left, the fender on the left hand side is quite good. The fender on the right hand side it's doable. It's doable. So it's just got a little bit of issues on the top there, but really nothing bad on that side there. I'm going to sacrifice the vehicle. And fenders are going to, so I'm going to take this left fender here and I'm going to put it onto the Japan car. The right fender from the car is going to go onto the 3 to 5i shuttle line. So, back this side here. So, we've gone ahead now, instead of me fabricating and building up an arch, right? It's a dead element. I'm going to take the arch off that vehicle also. So, we've inspected the arch. The arch is actually good. We're going to replace the arch, replace the fender, and the battery tray, we're basically making up now. So, we've marked up, we're making it up. We're going to beat it out, get the battery tray in. We'll be able to close the section up here. Get to the small rust spots on the inside, and I think we'll actually be able to get this car done and ready for panel beating in the next week or two, which is, for us, that is a price, right? Because we start doing, this is our bottleneck we have here. So with regards to the shuttle line, I'm going to be doing the same thing there. So let's just fast forward here quickly to this side. So fast forward over to this side here, and we've actually, on my last video, we pulled the outer structure out for you. So this was the rear fender off, and we've gone in and we started digging in now, and we actually started fabricating on this car already. So we found where the issue was, where the issue is on this car. So we've taken the outer arch off, correct, and we've taken the inner arch. So on this car, the outer arch is actually good, the inner arch is a problem. So where the issue came in on this car is that this guy had a whole cut and join, and basically you can see where these guys cut off. Instead of taking off by the spot welds, these guys cut in certain areas, they cut around here. So we're replacing the inner arch on here. So I've got a nice clean inner arch, and it's a plastic bumper arch. So there is a difference between plastic bumper arches and chrome bumper arches. You cannot interchange them. So I've got to take from a plastic bumper car. So we're going to replace the inner arch on here, and while we are busy here, we can get to the join area, which is here at the back. So before we get the arch in, I think what we're gonna do is I'm first gonna tackle the spare wheel area. Because I guarantee you, if I found the rust over here, and the rust is purely coming in from the welding and not treating the welding properly, we're definitely gonna find rust in here, right? So we're basically gonna clean this guy out here, tackle the spare wheel area, remove the spare wheel area. But if I need to change the valence for this vehicle, I can pull one from this guy as well. So remember, this valence has got to cut all the way through. It's got to cut all the way through here, and I told you guys that I'm not too sure how we're going to get this, or how we're going to get the repair done, because I'm not in favor of just grinding it down. And if I grind it down, right, we're not able to basically straighten this here out as much as we want to. Remember, on a weld area, on a flat surface, you're able to sheet metal it as much as you want to, right? If this here was MIG welded before, MIG weld is very hard. So MIG weld doesn't allow you to expand, number one. And that's when it's hot. When it's cold, it's locked in there. So it's very hard for us to panel beat MIG welding, or CO2 welding. It's very hard for us to panel beat that and get that. So what's gonna happen is, if Atul, while you're here, how's it? While you're here, quickly, just hold on. Atul is here. Let me grab him into the video here quickly. Okay, I'm gonna have to share mic, right? Okay, so the reason why Atul is here also, we've got the chassis machine in here. That's another video that we're gonna do. So Atul, just quickly on MIG welding and TIG welding, right? You know MIG welding very well. On MIG welding, am I correct in saying that a MIG weld is actually a hard weld? So you can't expand that weld. So if you come and you tap on that welder, you can't expand it, right?
MIG welding is a much more harder weld. That's correct. So on sheet metal, once it's stuff, you can't really plenish it.
You can't get it flat, right? The only way of getting it flat is basically grinding it down, but then you still have to come out filler afterwards to shape up.
And then the chances of the weld cracking sometimes is the stuff.
That's another thing.
When it's gone too thin and hitting. And then with TIG welding, obviously you can plenish it and you can.
And that's an expandable weld, if we can call it that.
Yeah.
So these are all CO2 welds and MIG welds, if at its best.
You're talking about original?
No. These welds.
Yes, that's more MIG. Most shops, I mean, everywhere they use
MIG, CO2 MIG.
CO2 MIG, yeah.
So having said that, if we go ahead and we grind this here down here, there's a big possibility that we'll have to use a bunch of body filler to get the panel lined up, and that's what we don't want to do.
Yes.
That's the fight we're having on all of this.
Yes.
So now, with our donor car over there, that means that we can take that rear valence off.
Yes.
And instead of trying to repair this valence here, let's just replace it.
Replace it, yeah.
Right, so we're going to replace that. We're going to replace our spare wheel housing here, and see what we're going to do with the rest of the trunk area.
Yeah.
And I know that we've got this issue here on this
rear cutter rail, yeah.
Rear cutter rail. Yeah. So I know because of they cut through here, right? I think we'll replace this one as well.
Yeah, because there's all welding and then here we don't know what underneath the rusting, so we might as well take it out here.
So we're gonna pull this guy out as well, but we're first gonna get the rear valence done, we'll get the side done, and then we'll get to this guy here.
The biggest issue is wherever people did work, you don't know what's burning inside and getting out.
So that's I just mentioned it in the video now. So the biggest issue of where the rust started here, right? And I showed you guys over here that the E-coat on the original panel was still there.
Yeah.
But you'll see the weld mark, so you'll see the burn from the weld,
yes.
And that's where the rust actually started off there. So what we actually started doing is we started, if I show
up and cleaning it up.
No, but this one we fabricated on.
Oh, okay.
Right, so we managed to get this guy on nicely. We fabricated this guy out through. Mm-hmm. This is done here. This was a problem area here.
Is it?
So I must just check where the spots go onto here. Isn't there? I think there's still a lip that's got to be
brought up. There's a lip
here
also, yeah. I don't know. I think it's on the slip here, underneath from here.
We must just check from the other panel.
But I mean, this is actually the right way to open it up, clean the rust, retreat it with the primer.
Yeah.
I mean a weld through primer,
Yeah.
and then weld it up so everything is sealed up again, like almost like the factory.
100%. And what I am going to do is now with the blasting. So if you guys saw my last video with us blasting the Polaris Silver Evo 2 with our media, with the glass media, I'm actually going to blast in here.
Yeah.
So we're going to re-blast through this guy here, like I've said before.
Yeah.
Clean all of this here out. So that means we'll be able to clean this up nicely and weld on cleaners. We'll be able to primer it properly, seal it properly, right, with a weldable primer, and reseal this here.
And obviously our other primer that even gives it
Exactly.
better.
Exactly. Then that's our after stages
Yes.
of sealing that even further.
Yes. And I mean, if you can see here where they welded before, see all that rust is.
Yeah, I showed it in the previous video.
And that's all the hidden stuff that people don't see, and it starts eating up the.
So then we were just talking about that same silver car now, is that we found very thick body filler over it, right? Over the car.
Almost over a centimeter. Almost.
I think it was a centimeter at max,
Yeah.
that we found, and then minimum, I can count the places that didn't have body filler. That's how bad it is. So what was Atul and I were actually talking about this. The guys come in the full body filler up, right? So the rust starts creeping up here, but it takes about 2 or 3 years time, or maybe even up to 5 years, to see when that rust starts
Just depends on
surfacing.
how the moisture and stuff is starting to. Yes, exactly.
But when you see it surface, it's not a small patch anymore. It's now
it's destroyed most of it at the bottom.
exactly. But by the time you see that, it's way too late.
Yeah.
Right. So we want to try and get to that and do the preventative maintenance from here already.
Yeah.
Right. So that's this guy here. Then what I want to do is we had a Bauer that came in a while back. Right. So it was a red Bauer that we're making. The car's gonna go for, I think it's British Racing Green. I'm not mistaken. So we've actually been working on that guy as well. Right. So this guy here, Lush, you're gonna have to jump again to the side for me. So I haven't cleaned up the area or anything, right? So please excuse it. It is a working area. So this guy, oh yeah, Atul, you don't have to be afraid. It's fine if you want to.
No, it's fine.
No, but hold on. You need to be afraid. Remember, this front fender here needs to go onto the chassis leg as well.
Okay.
And we actually need to schedule this vehicle in. Remember, the tower is actually in.
Oh yes.
It's a red Bauer.
Yes, the red one. Yeah.
Right, so we'll do that one on the left one, on the chassis machine as well. Okay, so we actually got quite far with this vehicle here, right? And come through, Lush. We'll actually have a look here. We started with the floorboards already there, and we've actually fabricated floorboards. The rear floorboards there, we've got the bead in correctly. We haven't cleaned up the stitching as yet. We've moved over to the front. We've cleaned up in the front. We've welded over. We came over to the driver's side now, and we're starting to fabricate the lip on the side here that is rotten because of a previous join. So again, the rust starting from a join and working here. So we're gonna build up this lip here all the way through here, and then I'm still gonna get to this point and see how far we need to go in there. Then Lush, you're gonna have to come back around this way here for me. Then we've cleaned up basically the stitch. We've gone through it. We've inspected the stitch of the join, and we're not gonna undo that. However, come to the backboard, right? Because of a cutout that these guys made, we actually choosing to pull this whole board out and replace this guy. This here gives us strength. It strengthens the car basically. The backboard is unique to chrome bumper. So I need to figure out. I'm most likely gonna pull this board off and replace this whole board. Right. So we're actually getting quite far on this vehicle here, and I'm hoping next 2 to 3 weeks we're out of fabrication on this guy, and we're gonna start with panel beating on this vehicle. And we're actually doing very well on the body side. So we've got. I'll do a feature on the 333. It's another 333. I'll do the feature on that next week, and we're gonna basically be starting with bodywork, and we'll actually be able to get it into prep paint very soon. So. Guys, this was just a quick update. I will keep you guys updated with the rest, and yeah. Again, guys, if you guys enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, share it. Let me know what you guys think. I now got to reply to tons of comments. Give me a chance, guys. I will. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Thanks, guys.